Cert 4, Assessment Task 3A, Fitness Testing and Children. I've researched this topic using the internet to gather information relating to the different types of fitness tests that you can use to measure fitness levels in children. I've also been able to gather information from other personal trainers that I've been fortunate enough to work with. I also have a couple of kids of my own. I have friends with kids, and I'm lucky enough to be working at the PCYC, where I have access to school-age children in the after-school care and also younger children in the creche. A lot of my clients also have their own children, and I'm currently developing a mums and kids fitness class that will be running through the school holidays. Where I would like to go with this, particularly children's fitness, is next year I want to work in the high schools, especially the year 10, 11 and 12s, working with girls on self-confidence issues and teaching them about health and wellness for their future, and also introducing boxing for fitness into the high schools as well. A lot of the high schools up here, unless you're actually sports specific, there's really not a lot of option just for general health and fitness. So I think that's something that really needs to be attended to, and that's what I'm hoping to do next year. With the younger children, I also have my blue card, so I'd like to be working in the after-school care programs in some of the schools, just doing some fun fitness activities and games and encouraging the younger children to become more active and to get outside and get away from their iPods a little bit. Let's see, I've obtained my blue card, as I said, and I'm very much into encouraging the mums to bringing their children along with them and including them into their fitness activities. I think this is really solid for building good relationships between mothers and children as well. So it's just all too often you see the mums come to the gyms and they park their children in the creche with a box of McDonald's and some toys and an iPod, and they go and work out. So I'm really trying to change that whole mentality and bring the mums and the kids together in fitness. Children love to be involved in what their parents are doing. There are some key things to remember when you're performing fitness assessments on kids. Offering praise and encouragement is massive. Showing genuine interest in the children. Let each child determine the intensity and the duration of the exercise. Rewarding exercise behaviours, not just athletic accomplishment. And progressing children gradually. Always considering their safety as a paramount and making sure that the exercise is an enjoyable experience. This will promote activity for a lifetime. Exercise caution when categorising children. Avoid using terms such as below average, poor, overweight, obese. This can be really damaging to children's self-esteem. Children are not small adults, they are children. So they need to be treated differently as adults as far as fitness goes. Never forget that they are anatomically different, they're immature, and they need to have special care taken when choosing the testing protocol and equipment being used, taking into account different levels of development, age, ability. Don't underestimate the impact of growth, maturation and development in physical performance as well. During early childhood and pre-puberty, kids may experience weight gain that can affect testing results. Lack of coordination can also potentially influence their performance as well, as does their size and also their ethical and ethnical issues. Data collection on children has always been an area of concern, and tests in this area need to be non-invasive, and they need to be justified if they are administered in a way that provides respect and privacy for the child. So, tests used in the assessment fitness of school-age children have been carefully selected and appropriate to their level. Some tests have been adapted using lower weights, distances and times, and using simpler instructions and modified equipment, while others remain the same as the tests for adults. Some of the tests used on children are the sit and reach test, the sit-up test, the flexed arm hang, and the beep test. I did film quite a lot of children doing different testing. Couldn't get it to come together to email to you guys, so I'm sorry about that. What I did do was the sit and reach test, in which the child sits down and we're reaching to measure the flexibility of their lower back and their hamstring muscles. The test involves sitting on the floor with their legs out straight ahead and reaching forward as far as possible. We then did the sit-up test as well, so they're curling up to measure their abdominal strength and endurance. The child lies on the floor, knees flexed, while a partner anchors their feet to the ground. The subject curls up their trunk, then lowers back to the floor, repeating as many times as they can within 1 minute. The beep test was the other one that we ran, which is the maximal exercise test to measure aerobic fitness. It involves running up and down the 20-metre track in time to an increasingly faster beep signal. It is a maximal test, which means that the person doing the run must continue to go until they are physically exhausted. The children were fine to do this as long... This was the one that becomes a little bit dangerous, though, because they do get very competitive, so it's important to really be clear on the instructions and let them know that it is not a race and that every child is different and some will have strengths and weaknesses in different areas, and that this is just measuring their cardio fitness. So we're really just seeing how fit the children's hearts are. It's not a race as to how fast they can run or how long they can keep going for. What else can I tell you? My research, as I said, did come from mostly the personal trainers around the gym, certain websites. The one I found really interested was, the best one actually to use was called Top End Kids, and also obviously the Fit College information was really useful as well. So, in conclusion, fitness testing, I think it's really necessary for kids, and I think it really should be done on children on a regular basis. I like to run it every 4 weeks, that way that they can actually see the progression, they can see the increase in their fitness, they can see that they're reaching that little bit further on the beep test, they're becoming a little bit more flexible, and that's all really encouraging for children. And as a trainer, that's really important, that you need to know that you're actually hitting the mark and achieving results and increasing the children's health and fitness. Thank you.